Good morning! I am in a great mood this morning. I'm in a great mood. You know, I got to turn this camera because you guys can see the junk in the corner of my house. And I live alone and I am a proud bachelor, so screw you. So, anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You know that. I'm having a great morning right now only because me, have 3 shows today. 3 freaking shows today. Oh, my God in heaven. 4 counting yesterday's show. This has been a busy Halloween weekend. I am really anxious about this show coming up, and let me tell you why. Good morning, Joe, my brother, my from another mother, and no, my mother's better looking. So there. Anyway, so I honestly am excited about Halloween this year, and I guess because I don't remember Halloween falling, and of course it had to. I don't remember Halloween falling on a Saturday last year. I don't normally celebrate Halloween anymore. When I was a team member with Universal Studios, I had open invitations to go to Halloween Horror Nights down there and any night that I want because I was an employee. I also had the honor of being there early before any of the crowds. I got in before everybody and anybody else. So that was a good benefit for me to actually celebrate Halloween. The fact that I can go to probably the biggest Halloween celebration in the world at a theme park. I could go to Universal Studios every night. My God, Terry, where the hell have you been, man? Jeez. Hey, brother. Hope you're doing okay over there in Ireland. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my lovely, fantastic, beautiful, good co-host, Rosemarie Rose, and the lovely, fantastic, beautiful Jerome Connor. Happy birthday once again. 2 days past, Jerome.
Thank you.
Welcome. And like I was saying, the thing I like about Halloween this year, I guess, is because of the shows that we have. But I still live in a community where we don't have children. So I never have to go out and buy candy. And I was a candy corn freak when I was growing up. The bad thing about it is I'm freaking diabetic. But the
you
best
can have
thing
one. You can have just one.
I know, but you know what's going to happen when you have just one. There is a slogan. There is a slogan. So, the one thing I love about this show that's coming up is because I did one as well in the past, and that was my favorite. This show, as you're going to see today, is called, oh my God, I'm not prepared for finding that freaking banner. I got to scroll up through all these freaking pictures. These are Jerome's favorites. Okay. What I am challenging our other beautiful co-host, who we're going to talk to Rose now, is Rose, I think I would love to assign you and hope you accept a show of your favorites.
Yeah, I'd love to do one. Yeah.
I think in all right, all of us will now have, and of course, this is not all of our favorites.
No, not by a long shot.
To 10 per program, but you know, it's. I don't even know if it's the top. I do have my tops. I can name my top 3s, but this is going to be a great show based on favorites, and this is going to be Jerome's favorites. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk to Rose first. Rose, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right.
And any news you want to tell us a little bit about?
I've got my car in the shop, hoping that I haven't blown a head gasket. I got my son's senior pictures. Let me tell you how you don't have this problem, Mark. Seniors, they squeeze the money. Okay, they to get the package that I want, it's going to cost me over $500.
That is insane. That's ridiculous.
This is what they do to parents their senior year. They squeeze every last drop of money.
Let me ask you this question. Hopefully you'll know the answer to it.
Oh my God.
If I just wanted one 8x10 of my child, how much is that?
$200.
What?
$200 for the cheapest package, which is 1 8x10 and some pictures that spread around.
Oops, sorry about that. I was banging on the table and I actually hit. even the freaking Super Friends are walking out. So I mean,
so I'm just bleeding money here, left and right, bleeding money.
Oh my God, I don't remember it being this bad when I was a senior.
Well, Jerome, obviously you have something to look forward to.
By the time Gwen graduates, it'll be $750 for the top tier package you watch.
No. I will take my own damn pictures.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I got friends. I got friends in my convention community who are professional photographers.
And that's what I'm
they
saying.
owe me a few favors.
I'm sure that the teens will say, "But mom, but dad, everybody's getting their picture taken by." Who's the big company? Olin Mills.
Whatever.
It used to be, Olin Mills used to be huge. Yeah. It's Katie down here.
That's where I got my freaking. I'm looking for my memory book right now. I will freaking show you my senior at some point.
I don't. No, you don't want to see my senior picture.
Yeah, but my God,
they just tug at the heartstrings,
my heartstrings ain't that long. Okay.
Well,
I knew it was going to be expensive. I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive.
All right, we're gonna have to start a GoMe fund for you.
Go fund me my son's picture.
Siegel Majestic. That's the other company I remember. Yes, I remember Siegel Majestic. Okay, as a camera, a competitive to Olin Mill. But I'm sorry, guys. I have no children, and every single day that I listen to you freaking parents, I am so patting myself on the back. I'm jumping in the parking lot, walking to my car.
Mark, you're not looking at this on a long-term solution here.
I heard that crap before. I will hire somebody to push my wheelchair around. Okay, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make them. I will pay somebody to.
Somebody's got to put me in the home.
Oh my God! I can't believe that. Oh, good God! Oh my! So you don't get the pictures until they're paid in full, Rose?
I don't get the pictures until they're paid. That's right. I mean, they send you this beautiful binder with all the proofs inside, and you're like, oh, this is like so nice. And it's like, oh, if you want this, you can get this for free if you spend this amount of money. So,
listen. Let me explain the concept here. We scan it and we do Photoshop and we'll take the little proof words right out of it.
You're going to put your head on your daughter's pictures, aren't you, Jerome?
Well,
let's go on and get on with this fantastic show. Yesterday for Classic Television SmackDown, Jerome did a Halloween special.
Very good show.
Which was great. Night Gallery and a few other shows that we barely remembered. Of course, everyone remembers Dark Shadows. That was a fantastic show. If you guys want to watch it again, go into the NBL Entertainment page or go on our YouTube page and pull that show up. HWWS, go to that YouTube page, pull that show up and watch it again. It is fantastic. Yeah, Cheryl, I don't have kids. You don't have to remind me of the tragedy of having them. Okay, so anyway, so this show is Jerome's show, and Jerome's going to go ahead and tell us what this show is about and why. Take it away, Jerome.
Well, basically, it was my birthday on Thursday, and I thought, you know what? I hadn't done a favorites yet. Mark had done one. Rose had done a couple of birthday shows where, we celebrated her birthday, and we talked about, some of the shows that, that were around when she was born. And I figured it was my turn. I needed to have some fun. And also the fact it helped me relax because I had, some stress at work and stuff. So these are some of the favorite shows I grew up with. Nothing really past the mid 80s because, most of my real solid memories start about the early 70s into the mid 80s. And these were just the shows that as a kid, they had a huge influence for a variety of reasons. And we'll get into what some of those were. All right. Okay. So Mark, why don't you run the first clip and let's have some fun.
You're going to make me pee my pants. Okay?
I am.
I am going to be such a giddy little child at the age that I am now compared to the age I was when this show first premiered.
And that's the whole point.
Nothing changed. Nothing has changed. So here we go.
That's the whole point.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, and those 3 junior super friends, Wendy, Marvin, and Wonder Dog. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Okay, if nothing else, the Ted Knight narration just adds so much gravitas to this show. Okay? And
I'm sorry.
What's interesting about Super Friends, and it gets a lot of grief, but when it came out, it was super popular because there hadn't been a superhero show on Saturday morning for about 5 years due to some parent craziness saying about violence. And this was like every kid I knew in school watched this show. We were all excited to see the superheroes again. Okay. We all wanted to be part of that universe. The Hall of Justice to this day, we still know it. And I get excited when I see the Detroit Art Museum, because that's what I think it's the Detroit or Cleveland Art Museum that they adjusted the hall, they modeled the Hall of Justice off of. I mean, this just, like I said, there was just so much there that as a kid you wanted it. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, Wonder Woman got top billing over Batman.
Yeah.
Okay,
awesome.
I just wanted that notice, we're off the air for some reason.
Where?
It says on Facebook, it says this live broadcast has expired.
Cartoon crew, please.
I see us.
Are we? Okay.
Where are you looking, Rose?
I'm on my feed here.
No, is that
All right.
Facebook or YouTube?
Facebook.
I saw this on that. Looked like MBL died.
Okay.
Okay.
Cartoon crew, chime in, please. Make sure you're still viewing us, which I'm assuming you are, but I'm checking too. Keep going, Jerome, because we are still on YouTube anyway.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so that was the joy of that show. The first time in about 5 years that kids got to see superheroes. It was very tamed down from what we're used to in the comic books and other things. There wasn't a lot of fights with the villains, and a lot of discussions, but it was superheroes, and that was important. All right, please run the next clip, please.
Yeah, one thing real quick is, and you guys know how big I am on soundtracks. I marvel at whoever.
Well, you're the first 2 notes, and you know what you're watching.
And this is what I'm getting at. Yeah, I marvel at some composer who says, okay, how should I do a superhero soundtrack? And he's sitting on the toilet, and he goes, jump, 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 jump. I'm like, that's incredible.
And it's a memorable opening theme music.
Yeah.
You don't even have to put the narration or any pictures. The moment you hear those opening dun, whatever,
Exactly.
It's Super Friends.
Exactly.
You're ready to rock.
All right, I'm going to your next clip. You ready?
Yeah.
You're really tickling the underside of my feet here, Jerome. Nobody touches my feet, because this, what you've chosen, I don't know what to say, but here we go.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
All right. Now let's be honest here. This is pretty much the 4th season of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And what's interesting about this show, as a kid, my father to this day, who kicks himself for introducing me to Star Trek, says basically you watch this, and these episodes, if they had been expanded to an hour, could have easily have been an episode in Star Trek. These were not dumbed down episodes for kids. Some of these episodes had some pretty hardcore philosophies behind them, the sort of the morals of the stories. They were not, let's make them for the 5 or 6 year olds. Let's make this for the teenagers who understand what we're talking about. And what's funny about this show had multiple discussions in the Star Trek community about whether or not it was canon or not. And it basically has become canon because this is where we learned that the T in James T. Kirk stood for Tiberius.
Very good.
This is where we also learned about Spock's pet that's mentioned later on in one of the movies. This is where we learned a lot of other things. We got to see the first captain of the Enterprise, Captain Commodore April. All the stuff that's been sort of hinted at in the background, we got to see all of this stuff. And you'll see a lot of people talk about the current Star Trek animation, Prodigy and Lower Decks, which both are very good and I recommend it. But this is an animated that was, if the animation was kind of weak for its time, even because we heard from Buzz Dixon about how Filmation made money. But the stories mattered in this one. You could get past the animation, and those stories were rock solid. Okay. And they stuck with me to this day. I still watch this. I have this on DVD, and I'll pull this off the shelf every so often and watch some of these episodes just for fun. That's how powerful they were for me, and still are.
I watch it all the time on Prime. I've been watching it as well. I don't know what episode I'm up to now, but I for some reason I wanted to get back into that animated series because I really happen to love it. But I'm curious if Rose has ever watched it.
I've seen a couple of episodes. I haven't watched the whole thing. I'm sad to admit.
22 episodes. I know that you and Rachel were discussing Star Trek on the last your first show, which unfortunately I had to miss because of family issues. I got to go back and watch it. But I really would love to see the two of you watch all of them, the two of you, and sort of give an input as to what you think of those. Because
absolutely, that would be
they were solid. They were solid. Animations.
That's another good challenge for Rose. We're just filling up the morning with challenges for you, Rose. The animated series is just like watching 3 years of original Star Trek. The writing is incredible. They have the opportunity to produce special effects that didn't have the ability to do in live action. There's some excellent writing in the animated series.
You have a David Gerald episode. You have a Larry Niven episode. You have Walter Koenig doing his first real writing for television.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, there's just the quality of the writing on this is still, I think, a lot above a lot of stuff we see today. Even.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, children can and are able to watch it.
My daughter watches it with me.
Yeah, but this was written by adults. I won't say for adults, but literally for the original Star Trek series. So, it's fantastic. So I agree with you on it.
Yeah, this is great. All right. Any thoughts, Rose, since Mark and I have been obviously filling up the time?
Well, I'm just going to say that I something I need to go back and revisit for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you're kind of the same like me. I got so much on my plate to watch half the time. I don't even want to start.
I got so much. It's not even funny. I don't even know when I'm going to find the time. Yeah. Okay, so run the next clip for the next favorite. This one, Mark's going to love this one, and I know Rose will too.
You know I'm going to love this one, and I just pressed the wrong button. Okay, you know I'm going to love this one. Oh my God, I love it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
I love my lady. I love my lady.
Lady Penelope.
Woohoo!
And you gotta love it, okay? As a kid growing up in the space race, okay, the space race, crazy America. Especially, I grew up in the Air Force. This was like every little boy's dream. I mean, you had these futuristic ships. I mean, you didn't even care about the marionettes. Okay, it was these ultra cool planes that were flying. It just was exciting, and that was an important thing. There was an excitement. You wanted to go and fly those things as a kid. Yeah, okay, the costumes were kind of silly, but you didn't care. You know, um, you could pretend, you could put up a little pillow fort and grab something round, like mom's pots, the tops of their pots, and suddenly now you're flying, Thunderbird 1. And that was what was important. It sparked an imagination that really, got you going the next morning, or when you went back to school. All the kids would talk about the plane. I knew kids that would draw Thunderbird 1 and Thunderbird 4 like nobody's business.
Yeah, as a designer, okay, I was really, really curious how aerodynamically any of that crap got off the ground.
Don't ask those questions. It's not about that.
Look at Big Belly there. It's like, what the hell? Look at those tiny wings.
Listen,
he's like a freaking T-Rex, trying to get off the ground.
Forget that, Mark. As a designer of homes, I want you to start designing launch pads.
Oh, I don't mind doing that, but I'm going to have, really luxurious bathrooms for people to have, at least a toilet.
Hey, I have a question for Mark as a designer.
Yeah.
Have you ever built an underground lair for someone?
There you go.
It's not necessarily underground, but it was built into the side of a hill. So the front was still exposed, but there was growth on top. There was grass for you to mow on your roof, and it was built into the side of the hill.
Did it have a table with a laser that goes right across it? Where
he wouldn't talk. He still wouldn't talk. He still wouldn't talk. So hey, I wanted to give a special shout out to someone I'm not sure I know or not, but Jennifer Spalding. Hello. Jennifer, why don't you announce yourself? Tell us where you're from. Thank you for watching us. I don't think maybe I do recall you watching one of our past shows. Either way, thank you, sweetheart, for being here, and we hope to see you every week. And give us some advice or give us some comments, things you would like to see, shows that you want us to touch on. Do that. We will do that for you. Cheryl made a good point. Look. It's very wrong for me to get the hot over a freaking marionette. Do you agree?
Would that be called getting a Woody?
With you, Mark, anything's possible.
Oh, thanks a lot, Rose. I appreciate that. But anyway, Lady Penelope was just freaking hot. Her and Marina from the other show, Stingray. I mean, they were just freaking. That's your wife? Oh, with her old name.
Lady Penelope.
Jennifer Spalding.
Oh.
Really? Okay, that's interesting, Joe. But anyway, so I just love Thunderbirds like you touched on. Good job on that, buddy. Appreciate it.
So let's go with the next one.
I'm not done with Thunderbirds yet. No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to find a picture of Lady Penelope. Actually, I better not. But
and by the way, there's a new animated Thunderbirds.
Is the CGI one you're talking about?
Yes, and it's really good.
I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it.
Oh my God, is it good?
Yeah. So hopefully you guys will look that up. All right. So you're ready for? I kind of like this next one as well.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody is really trying to get your attention, huh?
All right, here's know more about Thunderbirds, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Woo! Jerome showing Thunderbirds. Woo!
Blast blasting off on a desperate mission to save Earth from the evil plottings of the tyrannical space lord Ming the Merciless. Dr. Hans Zarkov and Dale Arden have joined me, Flash Gordon, on a fantastic journey into worlds where peril and adventure await us.
Okay, so here we have, before that horrible movie came out, you have a serious take on Flash Gordon. The first season was serialized, which is really kind of hurt it in the ratings, which is why they went episodic from the rest of it and disappeared. This was another Filmation. I saw this as I was getting into high school, and every episode ended on a cliffhanger, like the original Flash Gordons of the 1930s. And the first season, you would follow story by story along until you got to the resolution at the end of the series. And it was just such a good take on a very old character. And it was fun. It was exciting. Unfortunately, they ran it late in the morning, usually about the 11 to 11:30 half hour.
Right. I remember.
But this was a fun show, and if you can find the individual episodes on YouTube, I recommend you track these first season out and just watch them. They are worth your time.
Yeah, I'm happy that the streaming service, I don't know which one for this one, but a lot of the streaming services are putting all of these old cartoons that you're showing actually right now back up for us to find it. Without having to go through YouTube, but it's still nice to see. And this was done. Rose, have you ever seen? Of course she hasn't. Why am I even asking her? But no, have you seen Flash, Rose?
I have not seen that cartoon. No.
Like I said, watch the first season. Ignore the rest of the seasons.
Where did you say it was at? Where's it? Can you find it?
I saw it on YouTube.
I don't want to say Prime, but I want to say something like Cozy or Tubi or some of those other offbeat free streaming services. But
I'd have to look. I'd have to find it for you, Rose.
Yeah, but when rotoscoping came out with the first Filmation, not the first, but one of Filmation's cartoons, Tarzan, you saw it transferred into Flash Gordon as well, where they were using rotoscoping. And
they used a lot of the same cells that they just recolored.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they just took that same filming processes and repainted it over just to get that fluid motion of people moving and running and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this was pretty cool. I probably like this better than the movie. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the movie tainted Flash Gordon's. I mean, the music was great, but that movie tainted the whole thing of Flash Gordon so badly that nobody will now take Flash Gordon as a concept seriously. Even the Sci-Fi Channel, who tried to do a new one, that was another horrible disaster.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think, Jerome, that this is worth revisiting, whether in a series or whether in a movie by more capable sources?
Oh, absolutely. Flash Gordon as a character was a movie serial. So this was the one you would go back next week to see the next episode. It was so incredible. There were 3 serials done. Buzz Dixon, who's become a friend, said the third one was one of the best of all the movie serials in the day. And then when they did this, I think it rates right up there because of the storytelling.
Very good. Wow. That's freaking awesome. So that's something else where I think people, I said this already.
Yeah, I know.
Of the universe.
I have seen some of the Buster Crabs serials.
Right, and those are really good. Now, on the very first Buster Crabs serial, I think it's the 3rd episode, the opening is some of the most erotic you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Okay, trust me on that one. Okay.
Oh, I know you're talking about too, but yeah. I know. But I'm still a huge fan of Queen, so I will eventually sing out their music, their soundtrack to that. So fantastic. Okay,
run the next clip, sir.
The next clip will be run, sir. What are we doing on the next clip here? drunk. Oh my God.
See, he's
Changed
getting
my
all
underwear
excited.
after the show. Oh my God.
One banana, two banana, three banana, four bananas make a bunch and so do many more. Over hill and highway the banana buggies go, coming on to bring you the banana split show. La la la, la 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 la. Four banana, three banana, two banana, one. All bananas playing in the bright sun. Living like a pancake, popping like a cork. Bingo, bingo, Cooper and Storm. The banana split presents the banana split. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Over hill and highway the banana buggies go, coming on to bring you the banana split show. Making up a mess of fun, lots of fun for everyone. La 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 la. Four banana, three banana, two banana, one. All bananas playing in the bright sun. Living like a pancake, popping like a cork. Bingo, bingo, Cooper and Storm. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. La 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 la. Tra la 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 la. La 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 la.
I even
Okay.
like seeing that, the end logo. I even like that when it comes on.
All right. So I never saw this when it originally aired. I was out of the country.
I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it in syndication, and the beauty of this show was a couple of things. First off, this was every kid's playground. Okay, you wanted to be in that clubhouse with those fuzzy critters. Okay, you wanted to have fun with those guys. You wanted to hug them. You wanted to play with them. They were going to be the pets or your best friends, either one. And the beauty of that also was is then they would do these animation shorts. You'd get Gulliver's Travels. You would get, I saw Adam Ant, Secret Squirrel. But
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers. Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights. Yeah.
My personal favorite, though, was Danger Island.
Ooh!
Every kid
Chongo!
I knew. Right. And we all would say that. Chongo.
Chongo!
And every kid I know wanted to go to Danger Island.
Oh.
Okay? We all wanted to be there. And I remember how much fun we as kids had with this show.
Size of an elephant. Okay, sorry.
But this was I mean the Sour Grape Bunch.
Oh, don't get me
Okay.
started. Stop
And the
that.
girls in those
Stop
go-go
it.
boots. Okay.
Stop it.
Remember,
You're in dangerous territory there.
Yeah, but we gotta realize,
would have
I
been
will-
all over that show.
Yeah, but let me put it this way, okay? I was about the same age as those girls when I saw
Yes,
this
of
show.
course
so,
you were.
so when I saw them, I'm like going, "Hey, wait a minute, something's different here." You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
okay, I'm starting to get some feelings here. When I was that age. But
The
it was
Sour Grape Bunch. Oh
it
my
was,
God.
but there was so much excitement and fun to this show that a lot of other shows tried to copy this, but they missed a lot of the mark on this. Okay,
Agreed. Yeah.
the characters played everything straight. Even though you knew that it was funny, and that was the strength of the show. Is all this stuff was played straight by the characters. And
Yeah.
I just missed the fun and excitement. I really felt horrible when that horror movie came out called The Banana
Oh.
Splits.
Yeah.
I just was like, you're ruining something that was really magical. And to this
Yeah.
day, people still watch this show and love it.
Them damn millennials. Somebody in a boardroom said, "Hey, I have a great idea," and all of us boomers were going, "No, sacred, back off."
Yeah. Okay. So Rose, thoughts?
I love the banana splits. I saw it in syndication as well.
So did I. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was just so much fun, and it made you feel good, And
Yeah.
when something makes you feel good and you enjoy it as a child, it's something that you stays with you for forever, And I just I remember them being on the Brady Bunch in that one episode, and
Yeah.
it's just so cool.
They were at the park, I think. I think they were at
I remember the
Kingsland,
park in Ohio.
Kings Island.
Yeah, Kingsland. Yeah. What
Kings
happened?
Island.
What happened was the producers got permission from the park to basically go crazy with the characters And so that's why you see them doing things that you normally wouldn't allow people to do, like climbing up the slide or running in front of the train or whatever, simply so that they could film all of this. Now, that slide, I remember as a kid, basically that slide was about 3 or 4 stories up. You'd walk up a staircase, and they would hand you the equivalent of a towel or a carpet to slide down the thing. Okay.
Here, take this blanket. See you later.
And you couldn't, and if you weren't of a certain age, not height, but age, they wouldn't let you go down by yourself. How do I know? Because they wouldn't let me go down by myself. I had to go down with my dad.
Oh my God. Senior abuse.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, the next one, we have to run the next 2 clips back to back.
Understood.
Okay. It's
Okay.
6A and B.
Yeah. Well, I hope I have it because I didn't put that in front of it. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Bear with me for a sec. I need to. Let's see. I think I got this right.
Okay. It doesn't matter if they're backwards.
Really? Okay.
Just they just have to be together.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this afterwards, of course, but for a reason.
Chosen from among all others by the immortal elders Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, Mercury, Billy Batson and his mentor travel the highways and byways of the land on a never-ending mission to right wrongs, to develop understanding, and to seek justice for all. In time of dire need, young Billy has been granted the power by the immortals to summon awesome forces at the utterance of a single word. Shazam! A word which transforms him in a flash into the mightiest of mortal beings, Captain Marvel.
Go ahead and run the other clip, please.
Yep.
"O my queen," said the royal sorcerer to Hatshepsut, "with this amulet, you and your descendants are endowed by the goddess Isis with the powers of the animals and the elements. You will soar as the falcon soars, run with the speed of gazelles, and command the elements of sky and earth." 3,000 years later, a young science teacher dug up this lost treasure and found she was heir to the secrets of Isis. And so, unknown to even her closest friends, Rick Mason and Cindy Lee, she became a dual person. Andrea Thomas, teacher.
Almighty Isis.
And Isis, dedicated foe of evil, defender of the weak, champion of truth and justice.
Oh, that one cut short. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. But still, this was originally, they each had their own show, but then they later combined them to the Shazam Isis Hour. This was a lot of fun. It was our first live action superheroes since the George Reeves Supermans, okay,
Right.
and Batman. Okay, Batman was in '66. This was in the mid '70s. We hadn't really seen anything from a serious point of view of superheroes. Batman was more camp. George Reeves' Superman was more serious. This was a serious take on the superheroes. The problem I had with it, even though I loved it lots, was at the end they would basically give you some moralistic lesson to tell you. And this was absolutely lots of fun. We loved the costumes. I loved Isis because every time she wanted to use the superpower, she had to start to do this incantation. The flying one was, "O Zephyr winds, which blow on high, lift me now so I can fly." I mean, it was just kind of, it was hokey as hell, but it was fun, and you remembered it, and that was the key there.
Bad thing about that is, since I was hanging by my fingertips from a cliff, by the time she finished that incantation,
you're falling off the
cliff. Yeah.
But sadly, unfortunately, this week we lost Joanne Cameron. She had a stroke last Friday and passed away on Sunday. So we lost one of our superheroes.
Yeah.
All I can say was she influenced a lot of people in that costume. There's a lot of people to this day who still remember this show. And
Yeah.
I really loved it. It was a lot of fun. And here's the thing. As a superheroine, she was on the air before Bionic Woman, before Wonder Woman, the Linda Carter Wonder Woman. So she was like the real first superheroine.
That is correct.
You know?
Yeah.
But you guys want to add anything to this?
I'd like to hear from Rose. Rose, did you watch this?
I did watch this growing up as a kid. I was probably about 5 years old, 5 or 6 when I was watching this. I mean, they played it a lot, in reruns. So, I loved this show. These shows, it was, it was serious. It was fun, and I was really sad to hear about her loss. So my condolences go out to her family and to all the fans. It's a great loss for the community.
Yeah. And now what most people don't realize was in the later Shazam episodes, the guy who played Captain Marvel, they changed actors.
Yes.
So you could see the difference. And quite frankly, no real slam on the second actor. I think the first actor had a much better look to him than the second actor did for
yeah, I agree. I think
Agreed.
You're right. This actor right here was more superhero-ish, looking than this actor right here.
Yeah, that picture there, he looks kind of dopey,
I think, yeah. Okay, since you're being honest, yeah, he's chubby too. I'm sorry.
He's a little bit chubby. Yeah,
he doesn't have the build.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that.
Again, I mean, every boy I know would ran out and yelled Shazam, and the girls I know would do the whole Mighty Isis. Cheryl wanted to be Isis. Yeah, I mean, and I know that somewhere for a while you could buy that necklace.
You probably still can.
Yeah,
go on eBay, you can find anything.
Yeah, so
I look stupid walking through.
Joe, you didn't know about these two shows?
Oh, really?
Joe.
Well, I'm wondering if he's talking about the actor. I'm really curious, Joe, if you could answer. Please elaborate. What are you talking about in general? Yeah, that'll
don't scare us like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that, Mike.
I love that episode, by the way, Cheryl of Archer. That was a great episode.
Oh yes, I do. Well, I didn't see the episode, but I know what you're talking about.
TV's Michael Gray. That's what they call it. That's what they called him. TV's Michael Gray. That was his character.
And again, like I said, this was a lot of fun. I just didn't care for the moralistic parts at the end. You kind of tuned them out as a kid. But I mean, on ISIS, you had them actually having car chases, guns being pointed at people, stuff you don't see today in children's television. And you got some real aspects of this going, they dumbed it down a bit, but boy, did they it felt like you were watching something your parents were watching.
Does anybody know if this is available on Paramount Network? I thought at one time it was.
I would have to look and see.
Keep talking, guys.
So I would have to look that up. Let me look that up.
Yeah,
right
I think
now.
it was on DC, and
I'm
it might have
doing it,
moved over
Jerome.
to Paramount, maybe.
Okay. Oh yeah, it like I said, the whole thing, the whole ISIS thing though.
I just want to watch it again now.
Yeah, and the funny thing is you can when you were watching it as a kid, all right.
Good God, $200 for the complete series on Amazon. Whew.
Ouch,
Jeez.
That's pricey.
$200. Jeez.
You can probably find it on YouTube.
I'm still maybe
So Joe says he never saw Shazam or ISIS.
Oh my God,
blasphemy!
Joe.
Absolute.
Oh no, Joe.
What are you doing watching our show? How dare you?
Oh man, you need to go watch a few of these episodes.
Even when they announced it, like the year before coming, or maybe the summer before coming this fall on whatever channel.
Yeah,
they told you it was coming. Oh my God! Turn in your Saturday morning cartoon membership card, please.
Mark, you were right. It was epic. It was epic to watch those. One of the funny thing was on Shazam though is Billy Batson, instead of being boy reporter like in the comics, is traveling the country with this old guy named Mentor in a Winnebago, and And one of the things was is when the gods wanted to talk to Billy, they had this ball with lights on it with a blink, and he'd have to sort of touch it and get hypnotic, whatever. But if he was outside of the Winnebago would start blowing horns and the lights would flash, and you're like, oh, sorry, an incoming phone call. You know?
Wow.
So it was pretty silly, but it was a lot of fun.
Rose, I cannot find an answer for you. Maybe Jerome will have better luck, and we'll talk about that at some point during the broadcast.
I'll look it up for you on the after
Sounds
show.
good.
So.
Yeah, I'm really shocked by Joe's comment. I'm really shocked. I will check them out. Also, I don't know if you could handle it, Joe. To be honest with you, at our age right now, it might be a trial for you to get.
It's hard to watch it as an adult. I'll say that.
Yeah, because it is corniness at the extreme. So try to watch
5 or 6.
Actually, I was like about 10 or 11, and I still loved it.
Yeah, it's and of course we know, Jennifer, we know that if Joe hasn't seen it, we know for sure you haven't seen it. We know that. Me too.
Okay, so let's move on. Run the next clip, please.
Okay. Oh, darn it! I forgot. I've never seen this before.
Okay, Johnny Quest, great music. Okay, so it was so good. I used to have this on my answering machine as part of my answering machine. Okay, now look, never saw it in the first run. Why? Because it came out in 1964 to 65. All right,
that's right.
Okay, we got that, Mark. We got it. I think we got the hint.
You have no idea what you have done.
Yeah, I pretty have a good idea. Now,
Your fault.
This was run. It was run a lot of times. Saturday morning cartoons. The networks would rerun this show. It was great. I remember seeing this. Every elementary age kid that I knew wanted to be Johnny Quest. Okay, we all wanted our dad to either be Race Bannon or Dr. Quest, and it was such a disappointment when you find out your parents are just average people. Okay, because you wanted them to be these parents that would take you on these grand adventures. Okay. Now the beauty of this show was also they had real bullets. It wasn't laser beams, whatever. There were real bullets being used.
People died in cartoons.
Now,
people died.
Now I will tell you this: You saw the scene in the credits with the mummy. That was the first time I ran across the mummy. Scared the hell out of me. Loved it. The giant spider was one of my first experiences to a really interesting science fiction idea. In a lot of ways, by the way, Haji was actually smarter than Johnny. Okay. This was just a show that overall, as a spy adventure show, just about perfect for every kid there out there. And even today, adults can still watch this, and I wish the adults that make some of the spy movies today would go back and watch this.
Yeah.
Because then they would show some really good stuff. And if nothing else, you would get that sense of adventure and danger instead of just these constant chase scenes that never stop, you know? But Johnny was just thing. We've done whole shows on it here on Saturday Morning Cartoons about Johnny Quest. Mark has basically, had to pee his pants on more than one occasion with this. Okay, so go ahead, Mark. Say what you need to say. You've been writing.
Okay. Everyone in the known universe knows that Johnny Quest is my #1 cartoon of all time. This will be in my casket, okay? Just saying. And everyone knows that I am a big fan of soundtracks. I'm a big fan of execution of any script in any movie. I want to see you carry it out. This music, I listen to the entire soundtrack at work all the time. There are a number of Hoyt Curtin soundtracks on YouTube that you can just listen to at work. I literally know every Johnny Quest piece of music by heart. By heart. I can hum every instrument that is played in a musical arrangement. That's how freaked out I am about Johnny Quest.
Jennifer is correct. Mark has spoken.
I have spoken. I don't know if they can do justice to Johnny Quest if they attempt a live action.
No, but what I'm saying,
not today. No,
what I'm saying is the things like the James Bond type stuff really needs to go back and rewatch the Johnny Quest because the modern stuff, while being good, and the Bond-like movies and shows really need to go back and watch Johnny Quest to really get a good feel of what a good spy show should be.
You know what? Other than outside of architecture, okay. Yeah. I am really not an aficionado of anything else except Johnny Quest. I am a person hard to surprise, hard to impress. Johnny Quest just goes above the mark for me.
Oh yeah,
I'm a guy, and just to segue a little bit out of this. When Jennifer said "Me Too," when we were surprised about Joe's comments of having never seen Shazam or ISIS, she basically was saying, wait a minute. She meant this.
One more.
No, I meant I was shocked as well.
Yeah.
So I take back that slam against you, Jennifer, thinking that, you only follow in Joe's foot. No, Joe walks alone, okay? If he's going to be a knucklehead, he is on his own for never having seen Shazam and ISIS. Thank you that much. But anyway, I want to watch you do this humming thing of all the instruments.
No.
Don't you dare challenge me.
No, do not challenge him.
Jennifer.
Don't do it.
We'll do it.
Bad girl.
We'll do it.
He'll do
Bad
it for
cartoon
you.
crew member.
He's done the drums
Bad.
before.
Yeah.
Bad cartoon crew member. Bad on you. Too many parents will be against a live action.
I don't
You know what? If the studio thinks they can make money, they do it.
Exactly.
I agree. I think you could still take 13-year-olds to, 8 and 9-year-olds will go see it, but I'm still thinking you could take children of age. If there's a PG-13 rating, this is a PG-13 cartoon.
I'll go.
Yeah.
If Spielberg did it or somebody like that, it would be worth going to see.
That would be gold. Yeah.
Yeah, they would do it. He would do right by it.
Yeah.
So another Johnny Quest show is another Johnny Quest Saturday morning cartoon show is in the making. So go ahead, Jerome. This is your show, but you've got me for Blitz. I think I can do it. And
Okay.
now I don't know what to do with myself. So go
Why
ahead.
don't you run the next clip then?
Uh,
Since Rose and me have already talked about this in other shows about Johnny Quest.
okay, so Jerome wants me to run the next clip.
No, not that clip. Come on, Mark.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
Nazi.
I'm
Okay,
terrible.
Here we go. All right. Here we go. Oh, which I happen to love this too. Good job, Jerome. Good job on this list.
Yeah.
The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show.
Overture, curtain lights, this is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights, this is it. We'll hit the heights, and oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
3, go.
Tonight, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
Starring that Oscar-winning rabbit, Bugs Bunny.
And also starring my fast-feathered friend, the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, meep meep. The coyote's after. Roadrunner, meep meep. If he catches you, you're through. Roadrunner, meep meep. The coyote's after you. Roadrunner, if he catches you, you're through. The coyote is really a crazy clown. Meep meep. When will he learn that he never can mow him down? Meep meep. Poor little Roadrunner never bothers anyone. Meep meep. Running down the road, his idea of having fun. Meep meep.
The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show.
Okay.
If I thought there was a flagship show for all of the Saturday morning cartoons that I grew up on, I think it would be this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now the
Yeah.
beauty of this show was this. First off, this show started in 1960. Okay, and it had been around forever. And my research said it ran until 2000.
Wow.
Okay, so think about that. That is 40 years of people watching this type of show. It opens like a vaudeville opening, and then it runs all those classic cartoons. Okay, including some that shouldn't see the light of day anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
There were a couple
That's
that were
true.
really,
That's
okay.
true, yeah.
But here's the thing. This was the introduction to the Warner cartoons that kids had, because remember, Warner cartoons were originally shorts shown in movie theaters as part of that you would watch go to the movie set. Your parents would go to the movies and they'd have a night at the movies. They'd get a short, a trailer, a news reel, and then they get an animation, and then they would get the main movie. So they'd
Just
be,
like Tom and Jerry. Just like
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry.
yeah. You go at about 7 o'clock. You wouldn't get home till 11, 12 o'clock at night because you had all this other stuff. It was their television. But here we have the first real appearance of all the Warner classic cartoons. And this is where kids got that experience. And this show, you could watch it and you would still watch the same ones sometimes. They'd cycle the same ones over and over again. And this is where I got my love for the Warner cartoons, and why people look at me like, why don't you love Disney? I go, because I watched the Warner's cartoons, and this was just this. You could run this in the background and you know exactly what everything was running because it was the same stuff.
Yeah.
Rose?
Yeah.
Okay, this was a show where my mom always took me to Publix every Saturday morning. She'd get me in home just in time to watch this show. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for
And
her.
so I would come in. I used to have this little Bugs Bunny doll that I took with me everywhere, and I would have him on my lap watching this show. So yeah, I think for many people, this show has is ingrained in their DNA almost.
Yeah.
It's just a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we got Speedy Gonzalez, because he wasn't one of the original shorts. Roadrunner just became so popular because of this show. We got the Bugs and Daffy that you wouldn't get today because of it. And I mean, we could just talk forever about how great the Warner cartoons were, but I don't think we're going to. You know?
Just as a quick side note, with it being Halloween, anybody who's seen The Shining in the very first, really opening part of it, Danny is watching Bugs Bunny and he's watching Roadrunner in the background. Yeah. So next time if you watch The Shining, watch for that, because for some reason, as a kid, when I saw The Shining, when I was like maybe 11 or 12, that always stuck out to me. That's like, wow, so cool, because he's one of us. He's, he's just a kid like us watching cartoons,
Yeah, and that's the thing is the Warner cartoons have everywhere. Their backgrounds and they're everywhere. You'll hear them or they sort of set a theme in some movies.
There will be a small focus on a Halloween episode of Warner Brothers if I don't get flagged for it, but it involves, if you think about the theme, it involves Sylvester the Cat and Porky Pig.
Oh,
if you don't remember that episode, join us.
Or remember Bugs with Abracadabra and Hocus Pocus.
Yes, the witch.
Walla Walla Washington. I've been saying that all morning. I've been going Abracapocus, Pocus Cadabra.
Abracadabra. Yeah.
Abracadabra.
The monster, the big hairy monster.
Oh yeah,
orange monster.
Monsters are such interesting people.
Yeah. Speaking of Halloween, for those that are watching us right now, this is Saturday Morning Cartoons. We're doing our special Jerome's Favorites based on this holiday, which is Halloween. I am surprised that the next one that he's going to bring up is not last.
It would have been, but I realized I needed 10.
So
if you want, we'll switch the order. We'll switch the order.
Yes,
go ahead.
The last two. Let's switch the order.
Switch the order. So go ahead and run the next clip.
Once again, this is Jerome's favorites. It's only just 10 of probably hundreds of his favorites, but he decided to pick these 10. I have a love for this as well, and it's interesting that it was shown in syndication and not just regular Saturday morning, but this is still a fantastic choice. Here we go.
Here comes Speed Racer, he's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone. He's gaining on you, so you better look alive. He's busy revving up the powerful Mach 5. And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, bet your life's Speed Racer to see it through. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go! He's up and flying as he guns a car around the track. He's jamming down the pedal like he's never coming back. Adventure's waiting just ahead. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!
Oh, and the ending credits are great because it's the history of cars.
Yeah, yes, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay, every kid I knew, boy, girl, whatever, wanted to drive that damn car. Okay,
yeah. Absolutely.
There was not a person I knew. Even the adults wanted to drive this car. Okay, so what do we have? We've got spies. We've got racing. This was just every kid's dream. I don't care what sex you were.
Family drama.
Everybody wanted to be in this show as a life. Okay, because it was just too much fun. Who didn't want a pet chimp? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I think he bites.
Well, those two I wanted to bash their heads in, but that's
I can't deny that. I can't deny that one.
I mean, you think about it, we got two smelly kids here. I don't think I want to go near any of them.
But what was interesting was I remember watching this because it was in this syndication constantly. I vividly remember from about the 6th grade to the 8th grade. Okay, this ran when I was in that age, in the middle of the 70s, and I remember people drawing the Mach 5 or at least drawing that steering wheel with the buttons.
Yeah.
I was, you didn't question some of the silliness of the show back then. I mean, like, Trixie flying the helicopter or Racer X and all that,
I was just hoping damn kids wouldn't make it out of that trunk. I know it's morbid, it's bad, but I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
It's
but when you're a kid, it
watertight-
doesn't matter how you feel like that. But I mean, if you think about it, think about some of the stuff that you watch. Okay, they had the Around the World race, which was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
a good one,
Great.
They had the mega car.
Mega car. I was gonna say supercar or big car, whatever
The mega
it was.
car, which is basically
Yeah.
looks like it's basically a tractor trail, a really long
And when
tractor
it blew
trailer.
that damn horn, it was like something out of
Yeah.
what was that black car movie, the horror movie with
Oh yeah,
James
yeah, kind of
Bond?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's like-
horrifying. But
I
they
know
also
that
had
horn.
the aerobics, the aerobatic car team.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
that, the villains. I mean, you just had some really weird stuff that was great. And if nothing else, it sparked the imagination of you as a kid that you wanted to do other things. And again, that was the importance of this. You know, you sat there and then you wanted to do, stuff like yourself. Somebody said Wraith. Okay, man, if Wraith isn't like Speed Racer, it's
Yeah.
the horror version of Speed Racer.
Yeah, and Mike, that wasn't the movie I was talking about, but good try. But
Yeah.
I agree.
But you could see the influence of Speed Racer on Wraith.
Yeah.
And the less said about the live action film, the better. It was the
I got diabetes just watching that movie.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got sick to my stomach watching that film.
Just so much.
Man, the Wachowskis really blew it on that one.
Yeah, they did.
So anyway, but that was, you're just looking at such a show that just and the funny thing is this was also a lot of people's first experience with anime.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
And most people didn't even realize it was anime.
Yeah.
And that's
agreed.
the thing. Okay. And it went from there. You couldn't have asked for a better introduction to anime than Speed Racer as a young kid. And this ran just great. And
Rose,
somebody made this car, by the way. Somebody actually made
Well,
this
it's
car.
in the Dragon Con parade every year.
Yeah.
Both him and Speed. So
Does it have the blades come out? And,
Well, no, because I'm usually off to the side, so wipe out the speed paraders in front, blood everywhere. But Rose, are you familiar with Speed Racer?
Oh yeah, I watch the show all the time.
Okay.
Has Rachel seen
this
it?
was one of the shows that kids went out on the playground and we play acted. Okay, that's what we did.
Yeah, Jerome asked, has Rachel seen this?
Rachel has seen some of it. I don't think she's seen all of it.
I see. Yeah, there were some great episodes in this thing.
Yeah.
Every time
Monster
Racer
Car.
X, I
Racer X.
I wanted to be Racer X. I wanted to be
we got to
the big
cosplay
brother.
you to be Racer X.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what? This would be a good show for me to introduce her to for a later future episode of Fandom. Actually,
Yeah,
Perfect.
that would be
Perfect.
good. Yeah.
because I don't think she's very familiar with it at all.
Oh my God, she's
Yeah.
gonna fall in love with that show.
Yeah, she it is. Oh my God, yeah, it's anime. So she would at some point notice, how the movements of the characters and whatever, and the speed of the scenes and things like that. It's right up her alley. One
of the things that was interesting again about this show was which we didn't see in the later years of cartoons, is again real bullets, because the bullets were ricocheting off of the bulletproof dome.
Yeah.
You saw adults smoking.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sure. There were some bad guys that were smoking.
Yeah. And you saw a lot of stuff where the villains were being real villains, and while they didn't consider themselves villains, they knew what they were doing was bad.
It's funny you mentioned that, because the villains remained the villains throughout the entire show.
Right.
They weren't persuaded to come over to the light side,
Right.
to be good, to do something admirable, even though you were on the bad side in the first. But no, they stayed evil throughout the entire episode.
Look. Not only did you have guys, going, "Hey, I'm going to steal this gold because why? I want it." Okay, which
Right.
is what villains. Here's the other one. Okay, you had guys who going, "I'm going to kill you, Speed Racer, because you caused the death of my brother."
Right.
Revenge. It wasn't. I mean, you didn't see that a lot in cartoons. You still don't.
Yeah, because it's a bad trait to pass on to the young kids that
Right.
the audience. But I'm sorry, this was anime.
This is
was
adult.
the Japanese.
This is adult.
Yeah, it was adult and
Adult themes that are still being done in adult shows.
Yeah, and
and
those
that was
kids over
great.
there can handle it better than I think we American kids were, and it just had factors in there that the PTA would be up in arms about, if they showed them, here in this country. So
this spawned at least two revival shows, the movie, a million comic books. And there's models out there. There's somebody who's built live actions. There's cosplaying like you wouldn't believe. Just amazing stuff about this show. This show has staying power.
Who was your favorite character in Speed Racer?
Well, if other than Speed, because I wanted to drive that, I would have to say, I like Sprocket.
Oh, did you really? The
yeah,
gear
not Sprocket, not Sprocket. The mechanic, Sparky. Sorry, Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky. Yeah.
I loved it because he got to build this thing, man. He got to do the one thing we all wanted to do, which was make our own version of it.
Pops had a hand in it too.
Yeah, Pops was the design guy. You saw him in front of the drawing board all the time. He wasn't really a hands-on kind of guy.
Yeah, I look at him and I think of the skipper in Gilligan's Island sometimes.
Especially what's funny is when he gets mad, the way they have him jumping from one leg to another, back and forth.
One other thing about Speed Racer before I ask Rose my question here is that Speed Racer, that show just basically tore apart, the idea of physics. The science of physics did not exist on Speed Racer. I don't care how many freaking life jackets you put around those freaking wheels. You cannot go up the side of a mountain. Simple physics. Ain't gonna happen.
Hey, listen. When you cut the tree, which is about this big, and you drive right across it, I'm sorry, you're still gonna scrape the undercarriage.
Absolutely, man. Those bumps will tear out the bottom like you wouldn't believe. But Rose, who was your favorite character on Speed?
Well, besides Speed, it would have to be Racer X, just because of the mysterious nature of it.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
That's me. What are you saying here, Mark? Are you talking about the Melange? No. Well, I know what he's asking for. But anyway, so great. So the second favorite is your last on the list. My second favorite, because you know what my first.
Yeah, is. I know.
Yeah.
This is Rose's favorite, though, the one that's coming up. It's one of my favorites. Here's my problem, and I'm going to get into this before we get into this. I can't really decide which one's my favorite. That's my problem.
Between this and what?
Between any of these. Okay?
Oh, I see. Got it.
The problem is that each has a certain thing that touched my soul. Okay. Yeah. And to say this one is more important than the others, they all had influence on me growing up to becoming who I am today.
Right.
It's really interesting. This one is basically the flagship of our show.
It is because we have decided as a show that this is perhaps the best cartoon of all time. Simply
watch it. Careful.
Because it's got 50 years of history.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got how many spin-offs and revivals and movies and live action. This is just an incredible show. So go ahead and run the clip and let's take it and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Rightly so. Our last one here.
Where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you. You got silver. You're the new of me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know we gotta do this.
My God, what can we say about this show that hasn't already been said?
Every kid I knew wanted to go solve mysteries. As a matter of fact, a lot of kids that I know, when that show came on afterwards, would go and read these kids' mysteries. They would do the 5-minute mysteries, the Encyclopedia Browns. They would go and read mystery novels, for kids or even adults. Every kid I know started snooping around their parents' house looking for clues for some mystery. Everybody wanted to be one of these 4 kids. Okay.
I just wanted the ginger snaps. I mean, the Scooby snaps, because I knew they tasted like ginger snaps. They had to,
Rose,
you know?
this is your favorite. What do you have to say about this?
Well, I mean, this show's just like my life. It's just so
You drive
ingrained.
around
It's
in
a
a
part,
van
it's like a
solving
part of
mysteries?
me. But you're right about something. I got into the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew because of this show.
Mhm.
Okay, and Encyclopedia Brown also, because it was just the aspect of the mystery of it really engaged my imagination. And I think that still today, it's I think that imagination and wanting to be a part of something and to be a part of a gang of friends like
Mhm.
that together, solving mysteries is, I think it's something that everybody really wants deep down inside, is to be a part of something big.
Mhm.
And that's why I think is why Scooby-Doo has lasted as long as it has. There's a girl where I work. She's getting her master's in psychology right now. She cosplays every Friday when she works at our office during the month of October. And earlier this month, she did Velma. And
Oh,
Pictures. Where's the
she was a great
pictures?
Velma. She was a great Velma, Mark. So
why
what
did
I'm
you
saying
say that?
is,
I'm coming to your office.
I think kids, 20 years from now are going to be cosplaying Velma, and
Listen, my
they do.
daughter still watches Scooby with us. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's 8. And here's the thing about Scooby, that one of the things is that, yeah, there was lots of things wrong with it. I mean, the creepy van, which whatever. But you look at it, and when you're 7 or 8 years old and you're watching this, you don't realize about the problem that you're going to have in high school with the cliques.
Yeah.
And here we have high school kids or college kids, and they would never be together.
This was the nerds, though.
No, because Daphne would have been in the cute girl clique. Okay, and Freddie
Yeah.
would never have hanged out with Shaggy.
So yeah, they're like the pre-breakfast club.
Right. My point is that this is a group that ignored the cliques that you later ran into in high school.
I think
Okay.
Velma, Shaggy, and of course Scooby could have been the clique.
Oh,
nerd
absolutely,
side.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, they would have.
Okay, and then they found so and so. Good God, man, what's the blonde guy's name? What's wrong with me?
Fred.
Yeah, Fred. Yeah, I blanked out forgetting my mother's name, but I think Fred. They probably overheard Fred talking one day about
traps.
There's a mystery going on. I could have sworn I saw a ghost one day.
Right.
Which perked up the ears of Velma and Shaggy, and they go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to listen in." And I think what's her name was just basically the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who was just pulled in.
But here's the thing about that is that it gave you hope that the cliques would someday go away. Okay. Ron, I'm going to give you a call tonight.
Why didn't you bring her to me, Ronald? Welcome, Ronald, by the way.
Ron is a friend of mine. He was my best man at my wedding. So Ron and I go way back.
He has failed this city. He was right next to Velma, and he could. I'm not asking you to perform a crime, Ronald, but I'm asking you to perform a crime, Ronald.
But anyway, so here's the other thing is I firmly believe that the Scooby-Doo Mysteries was perhaps one of the great advertisements for forensic science.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
More so than CSI.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1969. What was on in 1969 that we could relate live action-wise to Scooby-Doo?
Well, let's see. Trek was ending. 69 was the Apollo 11 landing. 2001, it happened a few years earlier.
69. What?
That was the end of the end of 69 was when it started.
Hey, cartoon crew, if you guys can think of anything that was on in 69 during Scooby's inception, of course, they thought of it probably a year earlier, maybe longer, but around the late 60s, that could relate live action wise to Scooby-Doo, chime in right now if you can.
Yeah, there were probably lots of lawyers, maybe some cop shows.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think like maybe the Rookie. I don't know if the Rookies was on then at 69 or not. Get Smart. That's a good choice, Carla.
Hello, Carlisle. Welcome, whoever you are.
Carlisle's a friend of mine also. She's out of Albany. She's
you have more friends than I thought. I thought we were your only friends. How did you pay them off? Okay.
Carlisle helped me move a number of times, and I've helped her move. So
Oh, awesome. Look, Joe said the same thing that Carlisle typed. Get smart, question mark.
the Avengers. There we go, Mrs. Peel.
Avengers?
There you good.
Maybe, yeah, okay. That's a good thought there. I like the fact that since Cheryl's been manager of a haunted house where she's going every week, became dressed as Velma. See, people are withholding Velma from me. I'm going to show you guys a photo real quick, and you will then understand why I have the hots for Velma. Okay, and
Is this the cosplays ones?
No, just look at that. I can't show what I really want to show, Jerome.
Remember, it's a family. Yeah, this is a family-run show.
Yeah, but it's a family-run show. But look at Velma's booty. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. But look and compare it to Daphne's and tell me who's got the better. Never mind.
This looks like this is from Mystery Inc., which, by the way, is serialized, and I highly recommend people go watch it.
Oh yes,
I agree. Yeah, I think that is Mystery Inc., to be honest with you, when I pulled it.
Yes, you were right, Ron. The Sarah Michelle Gellar as Velma was no, she wasn't Velma. She was Daphne.
Daphne.
And who was Velma in that one?
I don't know, but she was pretty cute too in that live movie as well. And I don't know who that was, but she was a perfect Velma.
Right, and then of course Cheryl says Velma has better legs. Sorry, that is true. Yeah. That is true.
Yes, but I usually go for the brains, Cheryl. Okay, what kind of man do you think I am?
You
what kind of person do you think I am?
You went for the booty.
Velma was brilliant, very smart. Probably never been kissed before in her life, so.
All right. So anyway, so there you go, folks. Those are my 10 that influenced me and I loved as a kid. And to this day, I still watch a number of those shows. They were great. They were fun. They influenced me as a kid, and you couldn't get much better than these 10.
Yeah, well, fantastic job, Jerome.
Thank you.
Those of you guys that are watching us for the very first time, welcome. We are open to suggestions of Saturday morning cartoons that you remember that we can include in future broadcasts for you. But this is what we do. We go around the bend here, and we pick a topic for each week.
There we go. Cheryl's got who Velma was in the movie.
Oh, does she? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google that name.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. So anyway, so you know who could play a great Velma? What's the girl on that insurance company? Is that Geico?
Progressive.
It's Progressive.
Yeah.
You sure?
She would play a good Daphne, I think.
You know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking about the Progressive girl?
I think it's the same girl we're talking about. Blue shirt. Very.
We'll have to figure it out.
I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. We're thinking about two different people.
What's the product she's pushing? I can't remember.
Are you thinking about the AT&T girl?
Is that AT&T? Maybe it is.
Maybe. But I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
She does the voice for Squirrel Girl on the Avengers.
I don't know. I never knew she did voice acting, but she not Flo, Ronald. But
that's not. Yeah, the other. I think it's AT&T. Maybe
it's the AT&T one. Oh yes. Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yes, that's a Velma. There you go. Good boy. Good boy.
Oh, yeah.
That is a Velma.
Mark, after the show, we'll talk about some of the pictures I've seen.
Oh, you and I have already seen them all.
We're horrible people, Rose. You know that, don't you? Right?
Yeah. And off topic here a little bit, but she does mention those and how distracting they are. So
yeah,
but
she's I've seen her do some acting, and she's got some skills.
I think I have too, but
she does really good voiceover work. She does some animation voiceover work, and I can't think of her name. And she's from Russia. She came here.
Yes, she is. She's Russian. Yes.
Yeah, she's Orthodox Jew, is what I read, and she came from Russia. Her and her family emigrated.
Yeah. Okay, you can stop now. Okay, so hey guys, look, Saturday morning cartoons. This is what we do. We talk about what you want to talk about and what we grew up on. If you want to email me or email us, thecartooncrew@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of the show, you're more than welcome. If you want to co-host, we have people who are viewing now: Mark Street, Joe Thompson, who were co-hosts. Mark Street's show was Thundar the Barbarian. Joe did.
And which, by the way, his show led to us getting Buzz Dixon onto the show.
Yes, very good. And we had, we try to bring on people we can grab.
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons. This is us. We're all boomers, I think. Yes. No.
I'm not.
Maybe. Kinda. Yeah, I'm definitely a boomer. But it's what we grew up on. It's what we ran downstairs with a bowl of cereal, laying on our tummy in front of the TV, and we watched on Saturday mornings before we were told to go outside and play because we didn't have cell phones. So we couldn't play on
Frosted Super Sugar Bombs breakfast.
Oh, hey, Royal. Good to see you. My God, Royal is from my old days.
Okay.
Hardy Boys.
Royal, do you have blackmail photos of him?
Hey, wait a minute. Hardy Boys was 69?
Yeah, I thought it was later than
No,
that.
no, it
I
is. It
remember
was
watching
a different Hardy Boys.
Okay, because I'm thinking of Parker Stevenson.
Right, Parker
Right,
Stevenson,
I am
Sean
too.
Cassidy, they were in the late 70s, but it was a
I didn't know there was a Hardy
Boys.
Boys before Sean Cassidy and
yes,
those
and
guys.
we
Yeah.
mentioned it. We mentioned it in one of our shows. What were they thinking?
Oh,
Okay.
okay, I gotcha. Okay, all right. But once again, Saturday morning cartoons, like I said, we do it. Whose turn is it next week, guys?
You.
Really? Wow, man. Wonder if I should do Johnny Quest.
No, that would be the fourth Johnny Quest show.
I
we've done.
know it'd be the fourth Scooby Doo as well. I think we did Scooby Doo.
We need guest hosts, please. Come on.
Here's the thing. Mark. At this point, we might want to start doing like episodes of shows because we did one episode once of a show.
What did we do? What was it an episode of?
Scooby Natural.
Oh yeah, we did do an episode of Scooby Natural. We did do that show. I'll come up with something for next week. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the day since it's 2 down, 2 to go. This is 2 shows for this weekend, 2 to go. The third show, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not aware, our co-host here, along with her fantabulous daughter, has their own show, basically called Fam Done. Like that, which I'm glad we beat one of the giants who tried to take us down for that name, and we won that arbitration, shall I say. Rachel on the right, and of course, lovely Rose. If you don't know who Rose is, look up there in the upper right. That's Rose. Okay, she's a little shorter now, but other than that, and they talk about things that they suggest to each other to watch so they can review on. It's basically, hey Mom, have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z? Which brings us up to that episode. So Rose, go ahead and talk a little bit about this afternoon. Make sure you tell us the time and what you're doing.
Okay, at 7 o'clock tonight, Rachel and I are going to be discussing in depth Dragon Ball Z, a cartoon, an anime that she actually dragged me into watching. I had no interest in watching it. And Rachel's very convincing, and every time she pulls me into something, I usually like it. So this is going to be an interesting conversation because we see things differently, and so we're going to discuss, her viewpoint and my viewpoint on Dragon Ball Z, and how I got into it, and basically we're going to go through the entire seasons all the way from the Saiyan arc to the Buu arc. And I hope everybody comes to watch. Just come in and check us out for a little bit because that really helps. And we're just trying to get this off the ground. And I really appreciate everybody who saw our first show, which was on Star Trek. We're going to be going many different directions in the future. So I just hope that everybody enjoys and hope you tune in tonight at 7. Thank you so much.
And your debut show was fantastic. It was on Star Trek, and it's nice to get a viewpoint of a youngster who, in fact, is basically never watched. And it wasn't just classic Trek you talked about. You went all the way up to Discovery. Jerome, question for you. I started it. I haven't finished it. Not that I won't. Of course I will. But have you watched Star Trek Prodigy yet?
No, I have not because I do not have Paramount Plus.
Got it. Okay. Well,
I did watch the first season of Picard, Lower Decks, and the first 2 seasons of Discovery.
Okay.
So I have seen those. I haven't seen the last, the current season of Lower Decks or Discovery, and I haven't seen Prodigy.
I'm a fan of Lower Decks. Prodigy, like I said, first episode geared more towards younger people. In fact, Nickelodeon is a partner of that broadcast.
A lot
So,
of positive reviews on Prodigy.
that's what I'm hearing too, and I got to just find time in my life, period. And then I will,
You and me
Yeah,
both, pal.
there's so much to watch.
It's just so
No
much,
time.
so much on, so much to watch, and I haven't gotten through everything and anything, but I'm going to try and pick it up sometime before probably, well, God, football's all day tomorrow. Crap. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But anyway, like I said before, hey guys, Saturday morning cartoons. You come to us, you talk to us, you engage with us, you enjoy what we're enjoying, and that's what you see from us. So thank you so much for joining us. Remember, we have a 7 o'clock show, and we actually have a midnight show tonight, a Halloween special, which is going to be very, very interesting. If you are up at midnight, hell, man, 9 o'clock's my bedtime. So I'm going to have to take a freaking nap sometime today before we start that midnight show. And then you will see all of this network's NBL Entertainment Group with the help of HWWS Web TV. This is what we do. We're fans, and we want to just share our fandom with you. And there's more to see later this afternoon. So thank you. We'll check.